Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to take a look at Valorant and how it performs on the RX570 and the Ryzen 5 1600. The system that I'm going to test it with has a Gigabyte RX570 4GB version. This is clocked at 1244 MHz, but I will increase it by 10% to 1369 MHz for half of the tests. It also has a 6-core Ryzen 5 1600 running at the stock 3.2 GHz and 2x 8 GB of 3200 MHz RAM. I'm going to run the usual tests, every single combination possible with 1080p, 1440p, low, mixed and high settings, with the GPU on stock speed and overclocked. However, I added the 1% low FPS values might be a bit lower than reality because I just realized that the game has separate frame limits for the menu and I forgot to turn that off. So whenever I opened the menu, my frames got limited to 60. So the three types of settings that I used for the test are high, normal and low. High being the highest possible graphical setting available in the game, normal being in the middle where the looks don't suffer much but we still see a great improvement in performance. Lastly, the low where all the video settings are set to the lowest level and all effects have been turned off. I started the game with 1440p high settings and I was surprised to see that the FPS could never really reach 100, meaning that if you have a 1440p 144Hz screen, the RX570 might not be the best option for you, as you would definitely have to turn the settings down. The game in its current state is not very well optimized, as all the textures look quite washed out to me, and it still performs worse than CSGO on the same setup. I think it would be a good idea to repeat these benchmarks in a couple months after the final version is released. So looking at the results, starting with 1080p and stock GPU clock, your average frame rate will be consistently above 100. You can make full use of your 144Hz screen even if you would like to treat yourself with great visuals. If you like playing on a 1440p monitor, I would not recommend turning your settings all the way up because by making very small visual compromises, you can basically double your FPS. After overclocking my GPU by 10% to 1369 MHz, I see very similar numbers as before without the overclock. I was quite surprised at first, but then I realized that the RX570 was running at 40% usage and 61 degrees Celsius. So on 1080p, Valorant really doesn't challenge this card. Switching back to 1440p again shows that overclocking did increase our performance, but the low and normal settings were already very playable without overclock, and the high settings remain okay but not very good for 60 or 75Hz monitors and still way too low for 144Hz screens. My conclusion would be that you will have a lot of fun playing Valorant on this card. You will have a very smooth experience, but I don't recommend overclocking this time. So thank you for watching everyone, I hope I helped you, and if you have any questions please ask and I will try my best to help. Stay safe everyone and goodbye.